You will never want to see me. I
Hi,
was
everyone. How are you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. Welcome to Lawyers Info Hub. It's a pleasure to have you here. So, today we're looking at something very important holding brief, and watching brief. Oh, holding brief and also watching brief. These are two concepts, and many at times people confuse it. So today I just want to shed some light on it so that we can learn. For young lawyers who are just coming into the practice, sometimes they don't really understand what does it mean to hold a brief, what does it mean to also watch brief. So I just hope these few minutes will be able to discuss it to a reasonable extent so that knowledge can be passed and we can be knowledgeful. This is Lawyers Info Hub. This is a platform where we share about law tips, we share our experiences in law practice, and invite people sometimes to also share their experiences for us to have a better knowledge of law to help you in your practice, to help you in whatever you are doing. So, friends, let's hit it going. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button, share this video, and like same. So, what does it mean to hold a brief? Sometimes in the course of our work, in the course of practice, for a new week who will be watching this video, many people, friends who can call and say, please, I need a lawyer to hold brief for me in so jurisdiction, or I'll be at the court of appeal, or I have three matters and I will need a lawyer to hold a brief for me at the magistrate court. Sometimes lawyers overwork themselves, or some other time because of some exigencies, you see a lawyer having three matters in one day, five matters in one day, and you ask yourself, how would they do it? They will tell you, I'll get friends to hold briefs for me while I attend to the most urgent, or maybe I'll attend the trials while I'll take colleagues will help me take the application, whatever it is. So when you hear holding brief, it's just about calling someone to step in for you. And now, because of the peculiarity or because of the consistency or the way and manner people now hold brief, so it has found its way to the rules. Now, in the National Industrial Court and other courts, you know, where someone is holding a brief for you, it is assumed that you're not just standing in for that person you're holding the brief for. You are expected to do what that person would have ordinarily have done if the person were there in person. What I'm trying to say is that if I'm holding brief for a venture, a very senior lawyer or someone that is, let me just say, Mr. AZ. If I'm holding brief for Mr. AZ and the matter is being called, I will announce my appearance and let the court know that I'm holding brief for Mr. AXY or Mr. AZ. And if the proceedings for the day, or if what the matter is for a hearing of application, argument, taking of a preliminary objection, adopting your counter, is for ruling, is for judgment, whatever it is for. The court is expected that you act as though you are that person you're holding brief for. So many times people go and hold briefs for people they don't know about the file, they don't know about the facts of a case. It just shows it's just an increase to increase ignorance, and it's always leads to embarrassment. So don't accept to hold brief for people if you're not willing to understand what the case is for. So people will say, my lord, they just handed over the file to me this morning. The counsel was here, but he stepped out. He was in your learned brother's court, or he's going to another jurisdiction. That was why he handed over the file to me. And he asked that take a date. Some judges will not take that crap as an excuse. Rather, they will expect you do what that other lawyer should have done if that person were there in person. So when you're holding a brief for someone, learn what is the matter all about. Sometimes the counsel will tell you just for application, and you get there and it's much more than what it is. So when you're going to hold a brief for someone, try and get the file before the date. Anybody can have circumstances. Something can come up for you not to be able to attend to your matter. So holding a brief is more like watching a brother's back or helping someone in a normal circumstance. So when you're going to help someone, that help should be well done, or don't just help someone to compound more problems. You see, sometimes people hold briefs for you, and they put you in more trouble. There is cost, they couldn't do what he asked them to do. So it's not supposed to be. So if you're the one holding a taking a brief or a file to hold brief for someone else, know what the file contains. Read the last what happened at the last adjourned date. If their application, study the application, argue it as though you are the lawyer. See, sometimes the people say I'm holding the brief of, and they do it excellently well and top notch, and that life goes on. But some people, they will hold brief. It will be so obvious, like they don't know anything. So, and they are just more interested in that appearance fee or whatever negotiation or the consideration they are going to get from a friend or whoever they are holding that brief for. So it shouldn't be that way. We should also understand that those cases, those files are people's interests, are people's lives, sometimes dependent on those matters. So a day can make or mar a case. So every day is important in a matter, every proceeding is very important. So that when you're holding brief, you must hold it as though you are the one, it's your matter and you're doing it for yourself, not just you're doing it for a friend. Now, we'll now look at watching brief. Now, watching brief most times can happen in criminal matters, sometimes even a fundamental, but mostly in criminal matters, yes. Now, where there is a complainant, and you know that in criminal matter, is sometimes is the state prosecuting or the police. So the complainant will not be cited as parties in the suit. What the complainant, the person who is affected by the crime or the problem is that's the complainant. And he would just be a star witness, a key witness in the proceeding. He wouldn't be a party cited in the matter. So what happens sometimes is that when the state has taken over, the police is prosecuting, the state of Lagos against this, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to the general against this, and all that. The complainant will now get his own lawyer. As much as my name is not one of the parties as a complainant, but my interest is what is at stake. So you see a complainant getting a lawyer to say, okay, go and see what happens in that court, protect my interests, liaise with the prosecutor, working with the prosecutor, and see that I get justice. So in that instance, the lawyer that the complainant is bringing is now holding watching brief. So you sometimes in court you see when a lawyer announces appearance to say, Mrs. AZ, uh, this holding watching brief for the complainant. It is recorded. So sometimes if a new lawyers they don't really understand what it is. So what I mean watching brief, they just when I say watching brief, you're just standing in for the complainant who is just not just he's not a key witness party, he's not a party to this, rather he's just a key witness who will come to testify of what happened and how they got there, and if it's a crime, he's the one that the crime was committed against and all of that. So watching brief and holding brief, many people mistake it for, say similar. It's not similar. Rather, it is the circumstance that makes their names different. So you're holding watching brief. You are the counsel for the complainant. So when you're not going there to come and argue, rather you're observing proceedings. You're observing proceedings to see that your client, who is a complainant, their rights are being protected. You see that you see the counsel who's watching brief is always working together with the prosecutor to ensure. Sometimes you see in the behind the counsel who is watching brief, that'll be directing the prosecutor, let's do it this way, this is the best way, taking trials, doing pre-trial conference, ensuring that everything on the prosecution is key, because you see that they are in the same boat as against the defendant counsel. So when you're watching brief, you must have your own file, yes, at least you have the proof of evidence, all the things concerning the case, who are the witnesses, what is the stage of the matter. You assist the prosecutor, but they don't really they don't really say anything. They just announce appearance, and that ends it. The prosecution will take up for the prosecution, and the defense counsel takes up for the defense. So in that instance, you're just there for the interest of your party, of your client, who is the complainant. Now, what by holding brief is where a lawyer stands in for another lawyer in his or her matter, and act as though they are that lawyer. So someone is, I've explained it before, someone is traveling or someone is not opportune to attend a matter, and he gives the file to a friend. Say, please, and before this justice, and before this judge, and before this court, help me go attend to my matter. And you see when they announce an appearance, they need to let the court know that I'm holding brief of Mr. So so so. So when you're announcing appearance, you say Mrs. AYZ holding the brief of Mr. X for the claimant. Mr. AYZ holding the brief of Mr. X for the claimant. So you state your name, state the fact you're holding brief for, state the name of the person you're holding brief for, and you state who you're representing. Are you for the claimant? Are you for the defendant? So it works that way. So you see, people that are new in practice, young lawyers, sometimes they are confused. So announcing appearance is where the court will understand what is happening. Now, you see that sometimes when people announce appearance or holding brief of, the court will ask, are you in the same law office with this person? If you're in the same law office, you're working together in an office, you have bosses or have people, your seniors, and it's okay, you help me attend to this, my matter. You don't need to come and hold brief of that. It's assumed because you are part of that office, you announce the appearance for the claimant or for the defendant. These things, you've seen arguments in court, you see sometimes judges correcting lawyers on this issue. If you are from the same law firm, you can't hold brief of that person. Sometimes you see people coming to maybe their boss say, be going to this, I have a trial or I have a matter before another judge. I'll meet you up. And before their bosses come or before their senior come, they've called the matter. You see them announcing appearance as though holding the brief of so. Sometimes the judge will ask, are you not in the same law firm with this person? So why are you holding his brief? So announce appearance as you are the lawyer conducting the matter. So in this case, you have to understand. So if you're in the same office with the person, you can't hold the brief of that person because some judges will say no, it can't be done. You appear for yourself for that particular party. But if it's someone that's just a friend, not you're not working together, you can hold the person's brief. Note, appear, state your name, state the fact that you're holding the brief, so my Lord can note it. Then you now state the party you're appearing for. It's that simple. So holding brief is just a simple concept, very simple concept of you standing in for a friend, standing in for a colleague, standing in for someone to do their matter for them. And when you're standing in to do that, the law presumes you are that person. So if a matter is for trial or the matter is for something you are not aware, and say, my Lord, I am going to take a date, many judges will slam heavy costs against you because it is seen as a ploy to distract the court or delay proceedings. So when you are holding brief for someone, know what the matter is for, be ready for that. What is for his application, is it what argument, be ready. You do, because as the court is seeing you, the court is seeing that person you're standing in for. So there's no excuse of I was just handed the file, it was this morning, he came and begged me. Many judges will not tolerate that because for them, each day is expensive. They can't waste their judicial time on you giving excuses. So when you're collecting a file from somebody, know the file in and out, know what happened. If there a cost to be paid, is that something the court asked the other lawyer to do that you didn't do? Check the last endorsement on the file. Prepare yourself very well. Look at the applications. Look at what you're supposed to do and go and do it seamlessly. So you're able to learn about holding brief and watching brief. You said in watching brief, you're standing in for the complainant. You just announce your appearance and let the court know that you're holding brief. Well, you're watching brief. We are just coming there to observe. As simple as it is, observe the proceedings. You're not to contribute to it. Rather, you can work behind the scenes with the prosecutor. While you're holding brief, you're standing in for someone for them to handle their matter for them. So you're just holding the brief of, it's not your case, it's not your brief. So you're standing in for a friend to hold their brief. If you're today, please do share this video, drop your comments, drop your questions if you have any. We're just here to support the legal education. We believe in the legal education. We believe that knowledge is what keeps you on the next pedestal. Knowledge is what puts you up. Knowledge is key in this profession, and we believe that when you know, it helps you in your work. So we are here to give knowledge to help people who are coming in new, lawyers, law students, who want to understand, who wants to know, because in many places people don't teach again. So they feel once you're out from law school, you know everything. And we know that it's not possible. There are things you do not know. Even if you made a first class at the law school, you still need experience, you still need to learn on the job, you still need to hear from here, hear from there, see for yourself. And all those experiences, all those things matter in making you the person that you are or the person you want to be. person you want to be. So, friends, it's been a nice time here, teaching, talking, exhorting. I'm happy to always create content on this platform. It's a joy, it's my passion, and I'm love what I do. So, friends, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Now, keep a tab on a notification bell so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be notified. Do take care of yourself and know that the sky can be your stepping stone, can even be your beginning point. There's much more to achieve, there's greater heights ahead of us. So let's keep pushing and know that you will always get there. Do take care of yourself and just stay safe.